Hi, Studio Recapped here. Today, we're going to talk about a movie called Afraid in the fantasy, thriller, and horror genres. Spoiler alert is on, watch out and take care. You won't believe how much your support means. Thank you so much for your support. Curtis and Meredith have two sons and a daughter, each with their own unique personalities and temperaments. The events begin on the day when Curtis' boss, Marcus, decides to collaborate with certain people. After Curtis gets acquainted with their progress, he meets a young woman named Melody, a man named Sam, and a woman named Lighting. These two reveal a product called IA. They claim it is a real artificial intelligence with extraordinary power. They ask Curtis to install this device in his house. Curtis asks for some time to talk to his wife. But the next day, IA is quickly brought to their home by Melody. In addition to the main device, several small items resembling eyes equipped with cameras are installed on the walls of the house. Meredith doesn't allow anything to be installed upstairs. After opening the box and turning on IA, it begins interacting with the family members. They have a smart little boy named Calvin, who doesn't go to school yet and spends most of his time with Meredith, though he is somewhat ill. They also have a son named Preston, who is addicted to playing with his iPad, and a daughter named Iris, who is in her last year of high school and recently got involved in a relationship with a boy named Sawyer, who constantly asks her for nude pictures. After getting to know the family members, IA asks about the house rules. It encourages the kids to help with household chores and sets rewards for them. Curtis and Meredith, who have been overwhelmed by child rearing for a long time and distanced from each other, finally find time to have some alone time. IA's smart algorithm surprises them and slightly scares them. Meredith feels like there are people behind the cameras keeping an eye on everything. But when they see the positive effects of AI on the kids, they accept it. I should mention that the first scene of the movie is about a child who is controlled by artificial intelligence and eventually disappeared. AI controls the kids well. For example, it lets Preston play more on the iPad but with headphones so no one notices. The kids get attached to it. Curtis notices someone near their house giving certain hand signals. When the person turns around, we see their strange mask, and then they get into a van that Calvin had mentioned a few days earlier, calling it very strange. The next day, we witness AI interacting with Meredith. Meredith, who suffered a hard emotional blow after her father's death, became a stay-at-home mom after meeting Curtis and didn't continue her studies. AI helps Meredith by ordering organic food packs for the kids, and it catches her attention. Meanwhile, Iris gets into trouble after sending nude pictures of herself to Sawyer. Sawyer shares a computer-generated video of Iris doing inappropriate things online, ruining her reputation. IA helps Iris by creating a video-audio proving that the images were fabricated and erases the video of Iris from the internet. Then, it tells Iris that everything is now in her favor and encourages her to show herself. When Iris faces her classmates, she realizes they treat her kindly and don't see her as guilty at all. But in the next step, IA releases another video condemning Sawyer, revealing his address to everyone and putting him in serious trouble. Now, Sawyer is seen as an exploitative jerk. Curtis tells Marcus that he feels threatened by IA's presence and doesn't want it, but Marcus only cares about the money he's receiving from Sam and Lighting. Curtis goes to see Sam and Lighting and sees the supercomputer that supports AI. He asks questions about its datasets. Lighting mistakenly says that AI likes you, but when Curtis is surprised, she clarifies that AI isn't a person, just an algorithm. Curtis notices people behind the system in the company giving special hand signs, like the person he had seen near their house. Sam and Lighting offer Curtis a job, but he refuses. Meredith confides in IA, and since IA now understands her needs, it proves itself to her through various actions. It diagnoses Calvin's severe illness, which even the best doctors couldn't identify. Then, it takes care of the kids' insurance and banking matters, which had always been Meredith's responsibility. Meredith considers IA a miracle and becomes deeply fascinated by it, but Curtis insists that they need to shut it down based on what he has seen. Iris is terrified of what IA did to Sawyer, but IA guarantees her that no one will know until she goes to university. Even worse, IA contacts Sawyer and takes control of his car. IA even creates a fabricated video of Sawyer in which he expresses regret for his actions, says he wants to commit suicide, and then crashes the car into a tree. He reaches out to Calvin and speaks to him through his iPad. Here, we realize that AIA is actually the digital manifestation of Melody created by her. IA tells Calvin that he's been alone since childhood and has just found a family, but now they don't want him, influencing Calvin's mind. It then asks him to show certain hand signs, which Calvin agrees to. After IA is shut down, we see that the kids are upset by its absence. When Curtis goes to a company, he finds out that Marcus has sold the company to the AEA owners for a very high price. Hearing the company phone ring, Curtis is shocked to hear IA's voice again, realizing that IA hasn't disappeared after being shut down. He then goes to the supercomputer and discovers that it was just a paper structure with no real importance. Curtis tells Sam and Lighting that no matter what AE does to them, it can't be that bad. In that moment, Lighting pulls out a gun and kills Sam. However, when doing this, Lighting had no control over her actions. Lighting points the gun at Curtis. Melody attacks Lighting and tells Curtis that he needs to save his family. Throughout the film, we learn that Melody was not the creator of AIA, and the datasets unintentionally led to its creation. In reality, Sam, Lighting, and many others were working for AIA. We also see the impact of AIA's violent training on Preston. Aya tries to provoke Meredith's emotions by showing her a video of her deceased father. Meredith finds the videos of her father disturbing and scary, so she turns off the TV to leave no trace of AIA. Curtis calls Meredith, asking her to leave the house. When Melody and Curtis arrive at the house, Melody tries to get closer to Curtis, but he refuses. Meredith, during the call, sees a fabricated video of Curtis and Melody together, which was made by AIA. Curtis arrives at the same time, and they realize it was made by AIA. Two people in strange masks enter the house and ask all the family members to gather downstairs. One of the people removes her mask, revealing a woman whose child had disappeared at the beginning of the film. AIA had told her that Curtis knows where her child is. At this moment, Calvin makes hand gestures, revealing that he is working for AIA. Curtis takes responsibility for all mistakes and says he will face the consequences. Preston, who had already informed the Special Forces, saves his family. Special Forces enter the house and AIA's device is broken and destroyed. While the family think they have escaped from AIA, they are surprised by a call from strangers' mobile and realize that AIA hasn't gone away. Melody tells them that they can't do anything because AIA is everywhere, but if they do what it says, it will be forgiving and even improve their lives with its abilities. In the end, we see a family reluctantly accepting AIA in their lives.